Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Good to see you guys. Happy Friday. How y'all doing? Good week so far, I hope. All right. Well, we are in day 5 today, and we've done a lot of technique and we've done a lot of mindset. And today we're going to focus on unique artistic voice, unique sound, unique, authentic. That's what we're going to focus on today. So I'm really glad you guys are here for this. Celebrating all of you who have shown up every single day so far this week. Like, we do not take that lightly here. I do not take that lightly. I know what a commitment it is. Those of you, you have jobs, you have lives, you have kids, to get yourself into the room for 5 consecutive days for 90 minutes is really, pat yourself on the back, like, for real. And so we know that your time is the most important thing, and we don't take that lightly either. So celebrating each and every one of you who has shown up every day to get some new awesome tools. Celebrating Jenna Tons. Congratulations, Jenna, on her enrollment in the intensive training program. Woo woo. So excited to work with you, Jenna. Buckle up, girlfriend. Buckle up is all I'm going to say. Also, I'm so excited to talk to all of you who have booked calls on my calendar over the next few days. Yay. Very excited to talk to you. So how you guys feeling? You made it. Here we are, Friday. How great was yesterday? How great was hearing from Amy? Round of applause for Amy, man. Like, if you guys, like, Amy doesn't even resemble the woman that I met almost 2 years ago. Like, if you guys knew Amy, I mean, she's always gorgeous and she's always kind and she's always wonderful, but like the woman and the creative that she has stepped into in the last 2 years is just, it just makes me so proud of you, Amy. And so inspiring. I hope you guys were inspired by listening to her speak and listening to her transformation. All right, who played with their energy exploration cards last night? Tell me in the chat, say me. Who played with your energy exploration cards last night? I want to know. Ooh, so many of you. Stelio, Saporva, Donna, Jean, Dolores, Layla, Johnny, yoo-hoo, Natasha, Mark, Zuberto. Good. Yeah, you guys are on it. Awesome. Awesome. I'm curious. Type into the chat if you remember which card you picked. Who remembers? Which card did you pick? I'm curious which ones that you were engaging with. Let's see. Ooh, Mark, I am connected to the unlimited abundance of the universe. Yes, Huberto, perfectly imperfect. Yeah, just like what we were doing in class yesterday. Nice, good. It's always fun because you never really know what you're going to pick, and then you're like, okay, well, yesterday, because we were doing perfectly imperfect, I was cooking dinner and I was just running so late, and my daughter and the house was crazy, and I was like, hey, I get to be perfectly imperfect being a mom right now. So it's in all aspects of life, guys, not just your singing. It can be really fun when you pick a card and you're just like, that's how I get to show up today. So how would I drive carpool if I let go of resistance, if I'm Natasha? How would I teach a student if you're me, if it's safe for me to be seen and heard? It's cool. It's fun. So engage with it outside of your vocal practice too and see what happens. Who has done their meditation today? Tell me in the chat. Who did your meditation today? Let me see. Let me celebrate you. Donna, Johnny, Jean, Sally, Stelios, Helga, Mark, Javon. Nice. Dolores, well done. All right. Who's 6 for 6? No, 5. We're in day 5. Who's 5 for 5? Put 5 in the chat. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your accountability. Celebrate how you're showing up. Look at all you 5 for 5s. Well done, guys. This group, like, Amy, this group is in it to win it. This is awesome. Okay, keep doing your meditation daily, guys. Keep doing it daily. It is the daily conditioning of the present moment. It is the daily conditioning of the mindset that is the most important thing. Because for so many of us, we've been in the spin of our ego and our inner critic for years and years and years, and coming in and attaching to our awareness is not always our default. So like even for me, I've had a meditation practice for 10 years and I need to do it daily because I need that conditioning, old habits die hard. So keep doing it daily. Um, okay, well, we have some really good fun stuff to get to today. So a reminder of our housekeeping, save your questions, train first, then questions, and we have the whole Q&A day on Sunday. Reminder, this is the safe space. Please hold our value that this be a place where we encourage vulnerability and bravery, and there is zero tolerance for any criticism, judgment, meanness in the chat. We will not hesitate to, okay? So please uphold that value. Make sure that your original sound is switched to on in the meeting. If you're on a laptop or desktop, it's going to be at the top of your Zoom screen, right next to where it says it's recording. It'll say original sounds for musicians. If you have enabled it in the settings and you click it to on, I want to give my team and Annie Donalon a big round of applause and celebrations because we were able to figure out how to get Annie's original sound on, so she will get to coach today. So celebrating you guys for persistence and for commitment, and I'm very excited that we will get to do that today. And today we'll have room and time for more volunteers as well, besides Annie. Okay, so let's get to work. So as I mentioned, today I want to give you my secret weapon for finding your sound. And one of the things that I hear quite a bit from otherwise talented singers is that they don't understand why they keep getting passed over for the things and the opportunities that they want and that they're going out for. Like you're doing everything you know how to do, but the gigs, the auditions, the big opportunities that you want just keep going to other singers. Do any of you feel that way? I'm curious. Tell me in the chat. Like maybe you go to a lot of auditions and you don't get in the callbacks, or maybe you get called back a lot, but you don't ever get booked. Or maybe you make records and you release singles and you get like 5,000, 10,000 plays, and that's kind of where it begins and ends, Or maybe you're submitting to a lot of festivals and stuff and a lot of booking agents, and it's like crickets. Is anybody having that experience? No, nobody in the chat? Nobody's having that experience? Okay. Well, whether you are or whether you're not, like this can be, okay, so now you guys are like, yeah, some of those, I see it, Tarita, Natasha, Donna. Okay, good. Just making sure that I'm picking up what you're putting down here, right? And one of the reasons that oftentimes you don't stand out as well as you could is because you may not be tapping into your unique emotional home and being truly vulnerable and letting that show in your performances, in your recordings. And, maybe you end up just being, like I was saying yesterday, a really good parrot of somebody else's sound and somebody else's performance. You may realize that you're doing that, like you may be doing that on purpose because you think that's what you need to be and what you need to sound like to be successful, or you may not even be realizing it. So today, I'm going to give you one of my favorite tools for accessing your most authentic emotional connection to yourself and your song. And it's a step-by-step process of really making a song your own. So first, I want you to think of a song that you sing, that you know really well, that you've sung many times, that you have memorized, a song that's not too long. Like I always say, no 7-minute Bohemian Rhapsodies today, okay? Just something that you know really well that you have memorized. It's a normal duration. And if you have a song in your head and you would like to be our guinea pig today, use the raise hand function and tell me in the chat. So, okay, so first I see Annie, which fantastic, because I told you, Annie, that you were going to come in and coach today once we fix the problem. And then I saw Yuval's hand. So we're going to get Annie, and then we're going to get Yuval, and then we'll see who else we have time for. So go ahead and come on camera and unmute. A big old hand for Annie for sticking with it.
Oops.
When the tech wasn't working for her. And a hand for my team who helped her out too.
Yes, for sure. Y'all rock.
Okay.
Here we are.
Question for you. Do you more often than not sing standing or sing sitting?
I stand, so I'm going to do that.
Let's do that. And are you able to tilt your screen until I say stop and so that I can see your face?
Oh, shoot. Okay. Because I'm in my studio today.
Okay. If not, you can sit. But right now, when you're standing, if you are you able to take a step back?
Yes.
Ah, good. One more step. Good. One more step. Are you able or will you hit the wall? There you go. Okay. Now
Got
I can see
it.
you. Yeah,
Yay.
I
Okay.
can see you and I
Nice.
can hear you. Okay. So what song? What do you got?
Think of me from Phantom of the Opera. That's what I know
Love it.
best.
All right. Let's do it.
Think of me fondly when we've said goodbye. Remember me once in a while. Please promise me you'll try. When you find that once again you long to take your heart back and be free, if you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me.
Awesome. All right. Should we do that much? Should we focus on that much?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's interesting because it was good. Like, there was nothing wrong with it. Pitches were good. Your tone is sweet, right? But I'm pretty sure there's a level of impact and a level of potential and a level of connection that is available to you that wasn't totally tapped into in that moment. So let's go on a little exploration process right now. We're going to see how it feels in your body. We're going to see how it feels in your emotional connection. So in the movie in your mind, like if this is a movie in your mind right now and you're in the story of the song, what just happened right before you say, think of me fondly, the first two lines of the song that compels you to say that?
Well, that was when Carlotta tried to say that, tried to sing it, and the chandeliers tore down, and she had a fit. And then they're like, Christine can sing it. Let her do it. And then it's like, yes, I'm going to reflect, and I'm going to do it well.
Okay. So if you had to say the emotional state that Christine starts this song in, what would it be? What's the emotional state she starts in?
She seemed reflective. Because I don't feel like she was sad or happy or anything like that. I think she was just in a reflective state. Like, she's not, the angel of music, they call her. So she's like, I'm sure I could do this. I'd be delighted.
Okay. So in that moment, though, do you feel like for her she's reflecting on that? Or do you feel like she's thinking, oh, this is my opportunity? Or do you feel like she's thinking, I don't know, like I have something to prove? What is motivating her to step up in that moment?
Like, this is my chance,
Ah,
and this is my gift.
okay. So that's what's motivating her. This is my chance. This is my gift. But that's not an emotional state. So, what state is somebody in who is thinking, this is my chance, this is my gift?
Joyful.
Okay, joyful. Would you go so far as even to say excited?
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I feel like joyful is deeper. A joy is a deeper emotion than excitement.
I get it. Well, so
But
joy is a state of being, excitement is an emotion. So we can combine them and we can say a joyful excitement or excited joy. One way.
uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. So that's where she starts. Okay. But so we sang through just the first verse right now, and it all kind of stayed in the same place. But a song, as you guys know, it's an emotional journey. It's an emotional arc. And
Yes.
I'm sure you guys understand this intellectually. Like I know you know this intellectually, Annie, but it didn't broadcast. It didn't come through because I don't think that you were being specific in your mind yet about what this journey
Joy
is.
excitement. That's great.
What? Joyful excitement.
Somebody said joy excitement in the chat, and that's cute.
Right, exactly. So if she starts in a state of joyful excitement, right? But like, why is she singing this right now? Because you said this is her shot. Like, who knows when this is going to come again? And so but she's got to go somewhere. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to stop saying she because this is you. So tell me, is there a time that you can remember in your either recent history or in the past where you felt joyful excitement because you were getting a shot, you were getting a chance that you were going to take? Have you had that experience?
I have, and I'm trying to recall exactly when that was.
Well, but it's something you can say you've experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say when I did the National Association for Teachers of Singing and won my category when I was in college.
Okay. Okay. So I got something I feel like I have something to prove. So there's a little bit of zhuzh in that, right?
Yes,
But this is my chance and I'm excited about it. Is she scared at all? Are you
probably.
scared at all? Okay. So there's also a little fear in
Just a
here.
tiny bit of nerves, like
Okay.
just a fear of the unknown, perhaps.
Yeah. Of when I sing, what will happen? She's in this place with all this magic right now. And like, who knows what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So tapping into that idea of a little fear of the unknown, a little excitement, a little joy. Now, where does she go though? Because if she's talking about think of me fondly when we say goodbye. It's kind of a wistful song. It's kind of a, you know, not the most, like they're parting. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
so there's some sadness, like because it's a goodbye song. It's been so long since I've seen the movie because I know that she lost her father, Christine did, and so it could have been who she was referring to. Like that's information I never knew.
yeah. So you guys, when you're doing a song that's from something, either from a musical or from an opera, versus if you're singing like a pop song, right? It doesn't actually matter if you know the actual story, believe it or not, of the plot that just happened. As long as you are creating something in your mind that connects you to what is happening right now, the audience is not going to know what you're thinking about. Like the audience is not going to know that what Annie's really thinking about because she's never been in a haunted opera house with chandeliers falling down and phantoms and you know what I'm saying? But what she has
Yes.
been, like she has been in a situation where she was singing, where she had that same, what my daughter calls being nerve-sighted, nervous excited, that,
Mm-hmm.
a little fear, a little excitement, a little joy, right? So you just get to tap into that, Annie. It doesn't even matter if you know the plot. I want you to visualize yourself walking up to that stage when you sang at Nats. I want you to
Mm-hmm.
visualize that moment because you guys, it's going to put her in the exact same emotional state that Christine is in. Doesn't matter that it's not the same as the plot. Okay. Now we need to go somewhere though. We need to go somewhere because for me, it was pretty. But if I was like judging that audition, I would have been like, pretty voice, kind of kind of flat. I don't mean flat in pitch. I mean kind of flat in like, eh, okay, didn't like move me. It was pretty, but it didn't move me. Okay, because it didn't go anywhere. So if we're gonna just excerpt this first section, we'll pretend it's the arc.
Well, should we go? Or should I do a later section?
You could. Did you want to?
Why don't I? Because I know that the part that's like yes, that's the last like the end when I do the high note. Like I go into karaoke bars and sing this, everybody goes crazy.
Okay. So why don't we do the last part? Okay, but you're still starting with that same sense of excitement. Okay, but why? Like, where does she land with this? What's her emotional state at the end? What's the journey?
I don't. What's the word I'm trying to find? She's not like hee hee hee. It's Christmas. Not like because I feel like excitement and joy aren't really. Because if she starts off that way, she can't end that way. I mean, because there might be She might start out with a sense of sadness, grieving I might start out in a sense of sadness because, like, okay,
If you start out with that sense of sadness,
but then you end out with, okay, yes, now I'm coming to terms with it.
okay. So you guys, so she landed where I wanted her to land without me having to point it out. See, we did all this talk about excitement and joy at the beginning and all of this, but see, if you start with that, you got nowhere to go.
Yeah, that I figured that out.
Exactly. So if we start more in the melancholy of thinking of the loss. So is there something that you can tap into from your own life, from your own experience, so that you can be in that same emotional state of,
Yes, yes, when my best
oh,
friend passed away,
okay, so it's real.
at 25, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So
Well,
instead of thinking about Raul or her dad, you, Annie, needs to be remembering your friend. Think of me fondly. And then how does it shift though? How does she go from that to you will think da 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 into all this coloratura? Is the coloratura really happy, joyful excitement? Is it something else? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's more of a sense of peace,
Of knowing.
a piece of knowing and just be acknowledging the grief and just like I'll think of you every day, but just promise me, yeah, that you will think.
Okay. So let's do it again. Okay. And I want you to imagine your, I know it's different because you're not sighted, right?
Correct.
But for your face, like because you have different access to your sight than we do, to broadcast your heart chakra, like connecting from heart chakra all the way up through your face and your crown chakra, right at the unicorn horn at the top of your forehead, your third eye, right there, and then all the way crown chakra to the top of the head, like that for you is going to be really, really important so that your face is broadcasting what's coming from your heart and then going all the way up into spirit. Okay. So don't be afraid to almost like it might feel ridiculous to you. It might feel even weirdly overdone to you. That's okay. Like explore that as you're moving from the grief to the peace. Okay.
So do you want me to? Where do you want me to start?
So let's start in that last section, the chorus, final chorus into the cadenza.
We never said our love was evergreen or as unchanging as the sea. But please promise me that sometimes you will think. Ah, 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 of me.
Okay, good. So first of all, how did that feel to you?
That felt much more of a natural shift.
Uh-huh. Good. Now, I want you to be willing, if you're just be willing to go to like 105. So kind of like what I said the other day, I think when I was talking to Suberto about like your 10 is like a 6. So you got to think 105 to get to 10. Okay. So
105, I could do that.
and I don't mean in volume. I don't mean pushing your voice. That's not what I mean. I mean in like broadcasting what you're feeling, using your energy and using your body. So one of the things that you can do is use your breath. So what I mean by that is, I'm gonna exaggerate it, but like, think of the things we'll never see. But please promise me. Like, did you hear my inhale was like languid and slow and like juicy?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or you can, you will think.
You will.
like I'm breathing in to the energy that I want for the phrase. Whether it's
Like
an
smelling
energy
a
of like,
dessert.
what?
Like when you talked about smelling the brownies when you breathe. I never forgot that.
Yeah, and I mean that puts you in a good shape for your resonance too,
It
okay?
sure does.
But what I'm talking about, like of going to 105, what I mean is like if you don't feel like you are ridiculous in your facial expressions, Annie, if you don't feel like you are ridiculous in leaning into these juicy breaths, then you're in the habit. So let it, I'm giving you full permission to let it be ridiculous. We can always dial you back, okay?
But if it's not, but if it doesn't feel ridiculous, then you say that's a good thing.
No, then you're in the habit.
Oh,
If it feels normal to you, you're in what's normal. You're in the usual. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to just be totally willing to go to the ridiculous. Like you cannot take this too far right now, Annie. It's not meant to feel normal. It's not. Okay.
all right. I'm fine not being normal.
Good.
We've never said our love was evergreen or as unchanging as the sea. But please promise me that sometimes you will think. Ah, 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 of me.
Okay, now we're talking. Now we're starting to get, we as the audience are starting to feel more of you. You were feeling it before, but we were not. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to now take it a step further. You're still in the ridiculous. That was awesome. By the way, how ridiculous did that feel to you?
Hmm?
How ridiculous did that feel to you?
That was, it felt very cheesy.
Okay.
Be like 105 out of 50.
Awesome. Awesome.
That was
So we're going to
wild.
stay at 105, okay? And by the way, like I don't know if you can hear what they're saying in the chat, but it did not feel cheesy to them.
Great, thank you.
Every single one of them is like, yes, totally felt more emotional. Brava, that had emotion, felt you with it, you know? So like what you got to know is that like that fear of being cheesy is actually keeping you from like tapping in a more luscious way, okay? So now my invitation to you is we're going to take it another step. We're still at 105. We're still super ridiculous, Annie. But now I want you to be ridiculous in like luxuriating in the vibrations within the phrase. Because I saw a lot of emotion. You did such a good job of like using your breath and like, you know, allowing your face to come online. But now, like within the phrases, luxuriating, difference being, I'm gonna like kind of exaggerate, but like, recall those days, think back on all those times, think of the things we. Okay, that's like fine. I'm on pitch. It's cool. It works.
I'm
Versus
hearing all the notes, but there's no.
there's no lusciousness. There's no luxuriating in the vibration. There's none of that like think of the things see, recall those days. Like I'm like, it's like taking a piece of toffee and stretching that piece of toffee. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I want you to now go to ridiculous with like that luxuriating in that sound of all of the lusciousness that you're creating in each phrase. Okay, can we try that again?
Recall those days, look back on all those times.
Okay, wait, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And right now, a technique thing that I just want to address, okay, which is that you're in your support on the longer note values and you're pulling off your support on the shorter note values. So there's lots of dotted rhythms in here and you're supporting the dotted quarter and you're pulling off on the dotted eighth. Recall those times in and out. Like one, like foot on that support, that lean through your container of your lower body the entire time. Can you siren that for a second? Recall the days.
Look back on all those times. Think of the things we'll never do.
Good. Okay. So now, right now, she's using slurp and slide to help her connect the dots. But here's the thing, as opera singers and as the genre of this, it's not stylistic to do that, right? So how do we create that goo without losing what's appropriate for the style? And what I want you to think of, Annie, is long vowels. Recall those days. You don't need to scoop to do that. You're just sirening these long vowels and enjoying the lusciousness in your body. Right.
Can I start with We Never Said, because that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, sure.
We never said.
Okay, hold on. We lose you, for example. We never. The verb. You're not. That still needs to be a long vowel, even though it's not a long note vowel. We never said.
We never said our love was evergreen or as unchanging as the sea.
Good. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
We
And
never.
wait, but I'm going to tell you what I want you to bring the intention in, okay? I want you to bring the intention of allowing yourself and your sound to take up more time and space. So I feel like body wants to rush through because it wants everything to connect. Okay? So like it's about bringing the words to you. Like the gesture I'm making right now is I'm holding my hand out and I'm pulling my hand towards my body. Bringing the words to you, drinking them in. We never said our love was evergreen. You get to play with that. You try it?
We never said our love was evergreen or as unchanging as the sea. But please promise me that sometimes you will think.
Okay, hold on. In that breath, whether you meant to or not, what was broadcasted to me was, here comes the cadenza.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was anticipating the darn thing.
Yeah. Okay, but why does she sing the cadenza? Why is it there?
For emphasis.
Of what?
That just think of me and her
That-
ability to sing.
Okay, so really the intention she has is, oh, now I get to show off.
Yes, it
Is that
is.
what you mean?
That's exactly what it is. Because
Okay.
it doesn't necessarily have to be there. That's just the icing on the cake.
Right, okay. But like, this exists on two levels. There's the level of like her motivation as Christine, your motivation as the singer, which is, now I get to show off. But there's also the motivation in the context of the story, which is you're thinking about your best friend and how she's no longer here, and you hope that somewhere in the hereafter she's thinking of you.
Yes.
And so why, in that context, why wouldn't you just end, you will think of me? Could have done that. Why does she keep going and do the cadenza? You need an emotional reason, or else we're just going to get, here comes the cadenza.
Well, I remember, I want to think about all the memories we had singing together, even though she didn't like to sing as much as I did, but we have memories just like of the things, the books we read and the chocolate we ate and all that good.
Yes. Okay. So you guys, you see how specific Annie is being, okay? Connection happens in the specific. So each section of the cadenza, I want you to choose one thing, a different thing each time that you're remembering. So when you breathe in for the cadenza, I want you to breathe in the memory of the chocolate. And then breathe in the memory of the books you read. And that next part is of that memory. And then what? We need another one.
The last conversation we had where there was a certain song. Now, this was a different song than Think of Me, but there was a song that she really wanted me to sing that has a high note. I was just remembering that nostalgic conversation we had. And
Do you notice how you're smiling even talking about it?
yes.
That's why this is her connection. You guys, if Annie doesn't call on this memory, the cadenza is just going to be, here's a bunch of high notes because I can sing a cadenza. And
Right.
there's no connection in that. Versus, let me breathe in that memory. Okay, now what's the last memory before the high note? What's the memory that causes you to want to go? What's the memory?
We went to TGI Fridays and had the fried green beans, I guess you could say.
Okay.
No, what about the Thanksgiving and we had a major feast?
Whatever is the ultimate memory for you, the ultimate memory of her. That's what you need to bring in here. And you guys, I do have my original sound on. I don't know why my high notes are disappearing right now. I don't know. But doesn't matter because this is about Annie. So do you have like the ultimate memory? Because each time, I don't want you to rush through this cadenza. It's a cadenza. There's no orchestra under you. This is your time. This is your space. This is your stage. You take it. And so do not go to the next section of this cadenza, each next section, unless you have breathed in that memory.
I would say the ultimate memory of us is the years we would celebrate her birthday. That we would celebrate her birthday every year, and it was the 4th of July, like with fireworks and Jello shots and all that kind of good stuff. Like it was.
Oh my God, that's perfect. That's perfect. But do not sing. Do not sing that unless you have breathed in the vision and the memory of the fireworks and the shots. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go. But please promise me that sometimes. Okay.
But please promise me that sometimes you will think of me.
Okay, I think you're halfway there. I think you can take and you should take more time. Like it's uncomfortable, guys, because we're used to thinking that we have to keep up with tempo, to keep up with the tempo, okay? But like legit, Annie, you will think.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's right.
Time, take time. And then see the fireworks. You know what I mean? Like that is what is like pulling on our heartstrings, is when we are waiting with bated breath for that next line.
Yes,
because you're making them.
Jello shots are ready. Woohoo!
Okay, so let's try it one last time.
But please promise me that sometimes you will think.
Now, connect. Do not go unless you are connected and breathe it in.
But please promise me that sometimes you will think.
Okay, now you're starting to play more with it. What does it feel like to play like that?
That felt weird.
Yeah.
It felt weird.
I'm sure it did. Because it's not usual. Okay. You're gonna play one more time. And like remember the joy. Remember ridiculous broadcasting, ridiculousness of joy. All of this, you guys, it's like heightened reality, but we have to feel that as heightened reality, or else the audience isn't going to get that. You know, it's theater, you know? Mm-hmm. Try it one more time. Go to ridiculous, like with your joy, with your excitement, with these memories.
But please promise. Oh, I just realized what I did.
What did you do?
I kind of cut off when I did that shorter, the 8th note. There wasn't quite the resonance. But...
So instead of thinking about it as resonance, I want you to think about it as luscious joy. You cut off your joy.
Yeah, I did. Eeks. But please promise me that sometimes you will think
Now breathe into that smile of the memory.
Ah, 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 ah,
Does it make you feel joy? Does it make you smile? How does it feel in your body?
Amazing. I bit like I'm shaken, but I don't know if that's
Keep going,
excitement or
keep
nervous.
going. Ah. Yeah, so it's like going beyond the comfort zone. I know
Yes.
it feels weird. I know. And it's some you hook it in sometimes and other times I can see you're judging it. It's okay. That's normal. Like that's part of the process. But to be able to connect to yourself in a new way and allow yourself to broadcast something in a new way so
I
that
mean, isn't it better to
we
feel
feel
weird than
you
look
more.
weird?
What?
Isn't it better to feel weird than to look weird?
Is it better what?
To feel weird than look weird?
When do you feel like you look weird?
Um, Probably when I have strange facial expressions. I'm sure that, well, and that's also very subjective. It's visually very subjective.
So can we do a little experiment? Are you willing to be like totally vulnerable and do a little experiment and sing that same section again and let yourself make all of the faces that you think are weird? Like let's actually see what you're afraid to do because I kind of think you're holding back because of that fear, which I get. But let's actually get some data here. So are you willing to just go there and whatever face you feel, just let it go?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
But please promise me that sometimes you will think. Ah, 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 ah,
Okay, so I didn't see any weird facial expressions at all. At all. And I would tell you if I felt like there was something to look at. But truly, truly, there was nothing weird. I actually think that it's a growth edge for you to go past what you think is weird and actually let yourself create more expression on your face. Like that's why I was the invitation to go to the ridiculous, the invitation to like not be worried about whatever it looks like. Because it's when we are holding back like that that we cut ourselves off emotionally. I actually thought this one had more flow to it. It felt like you were flowing through your breath and your tone a lot more because
It
you
did.
weren't.
I felt more, I don't even know if relaxed is the right word, but I did feel light. I felt lighter in that tone, that moment. I felt
Yeah,
lighter.
no, it was 100%. So okay, so thank you to Annie for being a fantastic guinea pig right here.
It was my
Um,
pleasure.
you're welcome.
Waiting for this day. Thank you.
Yeah, but did you guys get the process that I was taking her through was to try to help her connect to something that was a unique experience for her so that we felt more connected to her. You know, so many singers have done this song. It's not about the song, it's about what she lets herself connect to that is unique to her that then and when she allows that to come forth rather than being worried that it looks weird, going to that ridiculous place. It wasn't ridiculous to us at all. It just allowed us to feel more joy, to feel more connected to her, to feel the song more, and to feel more uniquely her. Okay, let's have Yuval, and then we have a very special guest who's here with us today. All right, Yuval,
Hi.
welcome. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello,
Where,
hello.
what part of the country or the world are you in?
I'm in Los Angeles,
Very nice. What part?
Hollywood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
18 years in the valley, or not the valley, in like Hollywood, so neighbors.
Yeah, I
Okay,
moved here 2002 from Israel.
nice, 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 nice. Okay, so what song do you want to play with?
I mostly sing originals because I come from writing and
Great.
directing
You
and
can do an
composing,
original.
and yeah. Um, before I even start singing, I just wanted to say, in the context of today's subject, that this is the biggest thing for me that I've been struggling with. Not in the sense that I would try to mimic others, but I'm very genre agnostic,
Uh-huh.
and different songs I write for myself would take me to completely different genres, and it generates different types of singing, and I'm trying to find a way to unify it to a recognizable voice that still works
Yeah.
within everything.
Yeah. Well, so that brings me to an interesting, topic, which is that like not all voices are built to do all things, and that's okay.
Sure. No, I'm talking about things that do work for me,
Okay.
but my voice is very elastic in style, so I could
Okay. Yeah.
sing,
So,
very different styles, and it's all me, but it's these, like, if somebody listens to a song and then will listen to another song and it's a completely different genre, I don't know that they'll recognize it's me.
sure. Yeah. No, I get that. And, in the context of writing, there's also this idea that like when you have the foundation for your skill set and your mindset. So when you have the technique and you have the connection, the mind body connection, so now you are optimizing your potential, right?
Sure.
It will become clear which feels there will be a horse that wins, so to speak, meaning like there will be something that feels so much more like square peg, square hole than everything else. That doesn't mean that you can't sing everything else or you shouldn't sing everything else. But
Sure.
there will, like for me, I mean, I've made a career as an opera singer, and that for me is square peg, square hole all the way. However,
Yeah.
I had a very good career singing commercial stuff. Like my voice is in pop this, pop that. It's in a Barbie doll. It's in a Meow Mix commercial. Like what, you know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
like, and that I do can do that very well. And I've made a lot of money doing that. However, like opera is still the thing that loves my voice the most. It
I
just
see
is.
what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense.
And so when you have the technique and the tools down in that way where you know like how to tap into the potential every single time, one of those genres that you do will likely kind of be the winning horse in that sense. It just feels intuitive, you know?
I know exactly what you mean, but because I come from the writing side, I prioritize the material and I serve the material, and then what I'm trying to find is just a way. And I think I'm getting there. I've been working on it for a while. I'm first in arrangements because I write, and uh, in the arrangements I try to make a sound that is cohesive to all these genres, all these songs into one thing that can be recognized.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think the more I keep to my natural voice, just not trying to make it sound like anything else,
Right. Right. Because if you're
then
trying
that's
to
how it works. Yeah.
manipulate it to sound like this genre one way and to sound like this, then you're absolutely right. Like that doesn't serve. Well, okay. So of your
So
material, what do you want to
I
play?
chose a song. I kind of wanted to bring another song in because it fit to yesterday's theme, but it's really high on my range, and the reason is because I sing it in both octaves. But I chose another song. I'll take it from the middle right before a key change because there's an enormous one there.
Okay.
So you'll tap to more of my range, and
Okay.
I think I'll do better for today.
Sure.
So I'm just okay.
Can you
Should
stand up?
I should yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna probably stand up. Okay.
But I wait. Tilt the screen a little
Oh
more
yeah,
because
yeah,
I
no,
want
it's
to
the
see a little
camera
bit
moved.
more.
Sorry, it wasn't what I meant to do. Okay. Sorry. There you go. This should work, right?
Okay.
All right. I'm taking it from the middle.
Okay.
I am living in a box. Only me and the four walls. Every morning waking up to more unnecessary news. I say to myself, don't break, look at the moon. I just close my eyes and whisper, it will all be over soon. Night and day I just wait for something to begin that will come and release me so I could breathe again. I dream that something real good will happen. I dream that calm and peace will fall like rain from heaven. But in the meantime, living in a box.
Okay. Is that it?
Living in a box. And still I search and fail. Living in a box. Searching for, still waiting for the miracle. Night and day I just wait for something to begin that will come and release me so I could breathe again. I dream that something real good will happen. I dream that calm and peace will fall like rain from heaven. I dream that something real good will happen. I dream that calm and peace will fall like rain from heaven. But in the meantime, living in a box.
All
It was like the
right.
second half of the film.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that song. Yeah.
no, that's all. Like you guys, it's a round of applause for Yuval just getting up here and just giving it his all. Okay. So what's interesting is that I I actually feel your connection to yourself and your emotion is very strong. And what I would like to work with you on is technique. Because even though today I know we were doing finding your like your
Right.
emotional home in the song, I actually
Yeah.
think you're very connected to your emotional home in the song. And what's
Yes.
getting in the way of the
I agree.
performance is the technique stuff.
I agree.
So um so let's talk about breath for a second. And when you watch the recording back, and those of you who are watching, you'll see that there's a lot going on up here. So
Mm.
the power that you're trying to draw from right now, especially in the bigger sections towards the end, it's like from here up. And there's nothing tethering you right now to the lower part of your body. Okay. And because this is kind of all here, kind of gets stuck, and then when you need to be even more powerful, then you just end up just blowing air through it to try to create that power because it's kind of stuck and the body's like, well, how else am I going to get more power? I know, let me just blow
It did
air
feel
through
that
it.
way. Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can create a little bit more grounding in the instrument, in the body, and the support in more of the middle section that's not quite as high.
Okay.
So why don't we start?
Well, we can
Um,
start in the beginning.
okay,
I
so we can.
am living in a
Okay, so go
box.
ahead and
Yeah.
stand back up.
I am standing.
Oh, you're
It's
standing
it's
up
an
still.
image.
Okay,
It's an
good.
image. I just tilted the camera, so the room is like this
That's funny.
compared to
Okay,
the.
so
Yeah.
let's start again. Let's start again. And what is the first lyric?
That's the middle of the song, but the second verse is I am living in a box. Um, only me and the four walls.
Okay.
every morning waking up to more unnecessary news.
So can we just start with I'm living in a box
Yeah.
and I want you to connect back to your lower obliques,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Let me move the
And
camera so you can see more.
yep,
Yeah.
I can see is that, yep. And I want you to put your hands on your lower obliques and I want you to just
Hold on.
siren.
Let
You're
me
just gonna,
make sure you can see more. There you
yeah,
go.
that's good. So not hands on hips, but palms on
Oh, there you
obliques,
go. Okay.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to just siren on an ah as high as you can go without going into falsetto, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And using that feeling of that flex. Ah, okay?
All right. Oh, I go to falsetto very easily.
Yeah, don't go to so this is okay.
Oh,
So let's do
it
it again.
didn't feel right. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me try again.
No, it's because it wasn't. But let's okay. Time
Oh,
out. Time out.
yep.
You start in the right
And
engagement, okay? But the
then I went up
higher,
instead of down.
well,
Yes.
the higher that you go, you start to take your neck and your head to try to pull the pitch up. So we get and then you're okay. So I want you to bring your awareness, and again, this is not about how high you go. I don't care how
Of
high you
course.
go right now, okay? What this is about, you guys, energetic sound direction. Right now, the sound starts going in the opposing direction, and then it starts to pull up and push up, and we don't want that, okay? So put your awareness back on your palms, Yuval, and I want you to follow your body with your mind. I want you to follow your support under your palms with your mind. And I want you to see if you can tell me at what point in the siren you go from, metaphorically speaking, like lean to like push. See if you can
Mm,
tell when that wants to happen, okay? Try.
okay. Here. Here it
Yep.
started. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I want you to take your hands and from here, and I want you to think like an elevator, okay?
Okay.
And as you start to siren,
To push down.
the flex is just consistent flexing more and more and
Okay.
more and more. And do not get to the bottom of your flex until the end of the siren, which means you have to
All the way
gently
back
increase
down.
it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Try it.
Okay. Oh. Sorry.
Wait. That's not a support thing. That's not a support thing. You did much better on the way
Okay.
down. Now, we need to bring in smell the brownies. We need to bring in like upside down triangle because what was happening to
I,
Yuval and
I
you
know
guys
to do
listening.
that. I forgot about it. Okay.
Yeah, no, but it's super common. What I was going to say is it's very common, which is that when you're learning this coordination, when you're focused on the flex of the downward support, the soft pellet goes down with it. Okay. So now yes. So if you want to do this, you can try that. Okay. Okay.
I
Stop.
felt I
You,
got stuck in both ways. Yeah.
yes, but this is what happened. This is so good. You've all like not good that you're experiencing the challenge,
No, no,
but
no.
good that because everyone's going to learn a lot from this right now.
Sure.
So you guys, remember how we talked about it's not just the amount of space that matters, but the shape of the space and where it is. So right now, you've all no, no,
No, no.
no.
I'm just feeling myself. It's not the actual exercise. I'm just
No, I know, but I'm saying I
yeah.
don't want the way that you're feeling yourself right now is the destructive habit,
Got it.
which is the way you guys he feels like he has a lot of space, but right now his tongue is pushing down
Mm,
on his larynx, and so he feels like he has a ton of space here, and it's too much pressure, which is why you can't rise. Okay,
got it.
so we need to take this space and like if you can stick your tongue out. So yep, super wide, and go on an ah. Ah. Okay, now only go
Ah.
as high as you can go without
All
going
right.
into falsetto. Stick your tongue out. Do you feel, did you feel it wants to
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
back in? You feel that,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
So you
I'll try
guys
again.
like do it again. And yeah,
Ah.
can you direct? So your tongue is doing this out your mouth. Can you direct the energy of that ah vowel like a beam of light onto your hard palate? Ah, ah, ah.
I can
Ah.
try.
Yeah, stick your tongue out and
Ah.
direct it right.
Ah. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
All
You
right.
guys, I get so excited when somebody gets it right. What did that feel like to you?
Let me do it again and tell you.
Okay.
Ah. Weird.
Wait, so
Because
hold
I
on, you
felt like
guys.
I had pressure here.
Yes, but here's why. So remember how he said that before when he was focused on his support, all this
I
was coming
forgot
down.
this.
Now
Yeah.
he's focused here and the support is coming up.
Very true.
This is why it's kind of like doing this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes a minute. So slow down because I notice you want to go and go very fast. Slow your
Slow.
roll
Okay.
and create that intention. Okay. Ah, you hear slow I'm going. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Ah.
let your tongue be out before you start. Set that
Oh,
first.
I didn't. Okay, I didn't
Uh-huh.
realize I didn't. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
But don't let it fall down your throat as you go down. Oh, don't let
Oh,
it
I
fall
didn't
down.
even notice I did that.
I have. I have. Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, but that was way more successful until the very end when it started to fall. But the majority of it, you guys, that's opposition. But see, he had to get his tongue out of the way to do that.
Let me
Okay.
try it without the tongue out. Let's see
Well,
if I
so here's
can.
what I want you to do. I
Yeah,
still want you to do ah. Okay? But you can
of
put your
course.
tongue inside your mouth if you want.
I'd like that. Okay.
Okay. Hold on. What's up here? What's up here? You feel where you are?
No, no, no. The camera is down there. The room is
Oh,
confusing you.
okay. Okay.
This is
Okay.
how I am.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair
just I
enough.
am standing,
I
so
want
I'm above the camera.
Fair enough. I wanted to make sure that you weren't up
Try.
here. Okay. Oh
The
no.
camera just fell. I tried to make it higher, and it fell off. 1 second. Okay. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, so just be
Yeah.
present to make sure that you're not breathing up. Okay?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm not. This is looking down. This is
Okay.
looking straight. This is looking up.
Great. Just
Okay.
stay straight and just
The room is
with
yeah, not real.
with with the
Okay.
tongue inside the mouth. And find your opposition. Okay? Right here. So are you looking straight now? Where are you looking?
Yes.
Okay.
Completely straight.
Good.
I'm just trying to aim at this
Hard
at the
palate.
palette. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And making sure the tongue is out. I'm just thinking, calibrating to
Yeah,
your.
that's okay. I know
Yeah.
it's a lot of plates to spin. Just think of it like you're just moving things away from each other. Tongue and hard palate and cheeks and ears are moving. It's
Ah.
getting better. It's getting better. The habit is, you guys, old habits die hard. The habit of going to the that's how you started, but then you kind of pulled it out and
Let's try
up.
again. Let's try
Okay,
one
so
more time.
can you say for me, aha?
Aha.
Okay, you don't need to scrunch your nose, okay? It's
Aha.
yes, it's if you take your finger and actually tap your hard palate, go, aha.
Aha.
Good, now engage your support in the opposite direction. Aha.
Aha.
Good, can you smile while you do it?
Yeah, but it felt like I was putting
I
too
know.
much pressure on the.
Yeah, you were. That's why I'm asking you to smile, because you guys, I want him to
Okay.
get out of his throat. Okay? Feel your molars and your fangs pull up into your brain. Ah.
Aha!
Good.
Didn't
Even
feel right.
yeah,
Still didn't feel right.
it's too much air. It's too much air.
Yep.
So slow down. Ah, and find your elevator.
Aha!
Okay, good. Now take your hand out and just find center, find alignment of your spine. Okay. Ah.
Aha!
If I said to you more tone, less air, do that experiment. More
Sure.
tone, less air.
Aha!
Okay, that was the right amount of air, but because we were focused on air, it kind of went down your throat. This is the growth edge, and over time, like if we were working in the intensive program, like this would iron out in a couple weeks, like because this is very common at the beginning when we're working with these two new tools. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I think the most important thing for you is with this feeling, can you now talk the words kind of in a chant of the first line? What was the first line?
I'm living in a box.
Okay, so even in your normal speaking, I think
Yeah.
that there's
Well,
a
that
bit
was
of a,
not normal speaking.
that
I'm
was not.
living in a box.
Okay.
Yeah.
I.
I I am living in a box.
Okay, so now, what's the pitch? What's the starting pitch?
C sharp. So
Okay,
I am living
so
in a
we're just gonna
box.
chant it. We're just gonna chant it on one pitch. Don't worry about making it pretty. Don't worry about singing it. I just want you
Okay.
to find this feeling in here. So you said C sharp.
Oh, okay.
I am living in a box. Just chant it. Okay.
I am living in a box, just chanting. Yep. Sorry.
When you
Just
said
repeated
box,
that.
no, but when you said box just chanting, you were in the right place. You
Yeah. Okay.
started a little
I
bit.
am living in a box.
Yes. What does that feel like to you?
It
The,
didn't feel quite right yet. The path
the
was
breath is not. The breath is not right. The placement is.
okay.
Okay.
I am living.
Okay,
Too much
Did
air. I
you?
feel it. Yeah.
Yes, because you started with this. Ha, hi, hi.
Ah.
Okay, so wrap and one hand around your lat, one
Yeah.
hand on your oblique. Okay,
Yeah.
and I want you to siren the word I into your hands. I. Perfect.
Ah.
Pull your hard palate away from.
Ah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am living in a box into your hands.
I am living in a box.
Yes. Now, do that. More tone, less air. Same thing.
I am living in a box.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Okay.
All right.
So you guys, these are the things like we got to break it down to its smallest component. First, what was happening with his tongue, how he was feeling in his shape, in his hard palate, what was happening with his support. Then we chanted and we do it just on the words chanting, then you can put it into play in the melody, but not until you can consistently just find it when you're not trying to sing it and make it pretty.
Sure. Makes sense.
Okay.
Of course.
Good work. Well done,
Thank
you
you very
all.
much.
Okay. So that was awesome. You guys are super coachable. I'm having fun. So, for your homework tonight, I'm giving you a sheet that I call Making a Song Your Own, and it's all the inquiries that I took Annie through. Creating the subtext, connecting to the emotional home, understanding how you're connected to who you're talking to, all these things. So that Making a Song Your Own worksheet is in your Masterclass workbook under day 5, and play with it tonight. Like, use these prompts to help you connect more in a way that's going to help you to find your authenticity within the context of your song. Okay, so I have another super special guest here today that I want you to meet, who can really share better than anyone her experience of what it's been like getting out of her own way, claiming full trust, full confidence, full power in her voice, and claiming the life and the shows that she wants from it. And so she's a super talented professional singer and performer who was experiencing a lot of inconsistency, a lot of unreliability in her voice, and she was scared and she didn't want it to affect her livelihood as a professional singer. And since training in the program, she's playing 10 to 15 shows a month. Girl, I saw the April performance calendar that you posted, like 10 to 15 shows a month without fatigue, without tension, without strain. And she posted that last year was her best music year yet. And you know what? This time last year, she was literally sitting in a workshop just like this, right where you are this time last year, almost exactly. So I'm really, really excited for her to share her experience with you now, a full year later. So please welcome Carol Gomez. Carol.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hello. So in case you're wondering, Carol is such a rock star that she lives in Asia. She's in Singapore, and it's like 4:35 in the morning or 5 in the morning, Saturday morning. So like this is how devoted she is to this work to come share with you on like 5 in the morning on a Saturday. So thank you for being here, Carol.
Always a pleasure.
So, well, first of all, you don't know anything about emotional home or the vulnerability work that we were just doing, do you?
Nope.
Nope, nothing about that. So let's start. If you would share with everyone what was going on with your voice when you were sitting literally in this workshop last year before you started working with us.
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. Yeah. So I started singing professionally about 2010, and just going with natural talent, which works out fine in the beginning, and then after a while the frustrations come in. I'm a session singer, so we don't work with just one band, move around, and I've started to find it very frustrating because there were so many songs that I wanted to do, and couldn't do it as well as I wanted to. So whether it's high notes or just expressing it, or I always felt there was a block to singing my greatest way, and it got even more frustrating in time because I feel like with time you're supposed to get better at what you do, and then you work with even more senior musicians, and you feel like you want to match their capability because you're one in a band, but that wasn't happening for me. And I remember just before COVID, I was singing and looking up in the sky and saying, man, I really need help. I don't know where it's going to come from or how it's going to come from. I really need help, and I hope it comes to me. And I've had vocal coaching before, but more generic. It did help, but very little. And so I used to watch a lot of YouTube and start picking up the skills of where I felt I needed and tried. But did a little bit of growth here and there, not much though. And I think it's also overwhelming when you don't have one source and you just take from as many sources as you can. So that was me. And then I saw a video of Arden doing breath support video on YouTube, and I followed her technique, and it worked so well for me. And then I joined the 7-day, it was 5-day or 7-day masterclass last year, and that was a big help for me. That's when I decided, okay, I want to go in further and learn a lot more. And that's how I ended up signing up.
Yeah. And so I'm curious, what have been the biggest changes that you have experienced in your singing, in your performing, even in your career?
So much change in such a short time. I would say short time being less than a year, because this is a process, and the vocal cords being your muscle, so much growth happens over a process of time. For me, it's just the joy of expression, with a lot less tension, and mindset. Mindset was a big one for me. Learning how to view your audience, loving them rather than thinking of them judging me. And I think the game changer also with technique, your voice gets stronger over time, and there's so much more you can do with the song than I previously could. More riffs, more styling, because there's a lot more vocal freedom to try out different things with your voice to kind of make the song more of your own than just a song.
And so what were the biggest ahas for you in your mindset that allowed you to tap into that, if you would share?
Wow. I think present awareness is a big thing. So I'm struggling to find which one, because I think I had a lot of mental blocks as well, on how I view myself. I think a big one was trying to sound good, to sound perfect, because I wanted my audience to like me, and wanting to be perfect, in every way, and being not giving myself time to make mistakes. Yeah, I think how I view myself, I was pretty hard on myself, and how I view my audience. That was a big thing for me for mindset.
Yeah. And so when you posted, because that was like my favorite post, when you posted on, like, it was around New Year's, and it was like lots of different pictures of gigs that you had done throughout the year or something, and you were like, this was my best music year yet. So what made it so great, and what was it that shifted so much in you that allowed everything to be so great? What was it?
I think the vocal ability to be more and do more, kind of attracted more gigs my way, because I can do it, compared to shying away from what I can't do.
Was that
And
something that was happening a lot before? Were you like holding back from putting yourself out there for things?
holding back is totally me, before this, because of a lot of fear. So I would take on gigs, but I would leave out a certain amount of repertoire. So I think it was also not just a technique thing. I think when my mind was more relaxed and open to performing more, it just came. Yeah, I wasn't
Resisting.
gigs from myself
Right.
with
You
fear.
weren't resisting, because you guys
That's right.
remember how we talked about the other day, energy flows where attention goes. And so when you're not in that resistance anymore, and now you start putting yourself out there for things, and now I remember you were saying, like, I'm doing so many gigs right now. Like, I have 15 gigs this month. I mean, and you guys, these are paid gigs. Carol is now a full-time professional singer. That's all she does. Nothing else. And she's a mom, and she's a wife. So, and she's not, 22 years old, right? So, like, I'm sure these were all things that go through all of your mind, but like, what becomes possible, or what became possible for you, Carol, once you learned how to get out of your own way?
Oh, just a whole lot of repertoire that I can do, which is really fulfilling. This stuff that I've always wanted to do. I can slowly add it in. Of course, I'm still learning and I'm still practicing. So the whole practice has to be really consistent for it to work. Um, and I have been putting in the work. So I think that's really important to say, that without doing the vocal exercises and the meditations, the growth won't be as fast as it is for me now. So it's really fulfilling for me, to be able to be on stage and do something I couldn't do before.
Yeah. And so it, I've asked everybody this question this week, which is that, like, if you were talking to somebody here who wants what you have, who wants more of what we do here, and they might want to train with our team in the intensive, but maybe, they're a little bit scared of even, working online, or the time or the investment, what advice would you give them, having been through it yourself?
Yes, definitely. So I think COVID held me back financially quite a bit. So the finances was a big issue for me, and of course time. Um, but I think the want and desire to be better than I could, to see my full ability in singing was bigger than that. So I found a way to, budget my finances to try and make this work, and it is 100% worth it. Because when you're a singer, it's your very soul, it's your expression, and if there's something blocking it, it is really frustrating. And what else is there to life, when it's your career? So I took it on, and like I said, I did the work, and your growth is so quick, it's so amazing. I think the meditations that we did gave me a lot of shift in everything. It opened up my heart as well. And working with Judy and Coach Annie and Arden was an amazing experience. I feel that these coaches are one of the most sincere coaches I've found. They're really out there to get you to be your best. And usually I'm a bit skeptical with online learning, especially when it's singing. But oh wow, I think Arden and Coach Annie they have X-ray vision, because they can see everything you're doing or not doing, even in areas that can't be seen. They can hear everything, they see everything, and they know exactly what to coach on, an individual voice. And even if the classes are in a group setting, you learn so much from each other. So that works as well. I was a little bit skeptical on a group versus solo time. But actually in a group, you learn so much more in a short time, because if you see, most of us singers, we all seem to have sort of similar issues. Same with the mindset as well. That's what I realized with my friends who were on the same course. We all kind of go through the same issues. So there's so much to learn from each other. This course has been everything for me. It's helped me tremendously, and it's my expression, so it's worth everything.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention that, I mean, if you were holding yourself back from gigs and stuff before, you were losing money. And so the investment to now be booking 10, 15 gigs a month, I'm sure you've made it back and then some over the course of the year.
Totally.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in so early on Saturday morning. And like, you guys, like, we have these wonderful singers all across the world. So it would be, what time was it when you would come to studio class? It would be like midnight?
2, 3 a.m. Yep.
But like, you guys, this is how dedicated this tribe is. that for 4 months, Carol just said, I'm going to go to bed really early. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do class. And then I'm going to go back to sleep. And like, because she showed up resourceful and committed and accountable, didn't matter that she's halfway across the world in Singapore, these gifts are still available to her. And it is like one of my favorite things about working this way is that those of you who are halfway across the world can still get the gifts of this method if you're willing to show up and just for 4 months. I think I said to Carol, it's just 4 months of your life to change the rest of your life. So you can do anything for 4 months that might kill you if you had to keep it up forever. But it's just 4 months. And to see you shine so much and how much you're performing and all the different groups and the jazz groups. I saw you posted something not too long ago about a jazz group that you're now playing with. It looked like it had like, I don't know, 8 or 10 pieces. It was awesome. So it just makes me like really happy to see you shining. So thank you guys to Carol for sharing her experience with everybody. So, you know, I'm grateful that you all chose to spend your time with us in our tribe today. If you were listening to Carol and thinking, that's what I really want, to be able to trust my voice, to be able to have that unique connection, and you want to work with us in the intensive training program to achieve that, then your next step is to schedule a discovery call with me, okay? And we'll see if this is the right fit for you. So Ashley's going to put the link in the chat right now to book a discovery call with me. And again, it's not a coaching call. It's just for us to talk, get to know each other a little bit, and make sure that this is the right fit for you. I just want to celebrate all of you who have shown up to every day so far of this workshop, who've made your singing a priority when it's so easy to let life and other things get in the way. And those of you who have been here for every single session, you know we have a scholarship opportunity. So if you have been with us every day of the workshop so far and you haven't missed a single day, you're eligible to enter our scholarship contest tonight to win a $4,000 scholarship for the intensive training program. So it brings the tuition down. So our normal tuition is $9,000. For everybody here in the workshop, I'm giving everybody a $2,000 discount. So everybody's on a $7,000 tuition discount no matter what. But if you're eligible to submit for the scholarship, it's another $4,000 scholarship. So it brings the $7,000 discounted tuition down to just $3,000. It's huge. So if you want to be considered for the scholarship, you have to do 2 simple things tonight. Ashley's going to put a link in the chat that you're going to use to submit a form. Okay, so first you need to use our scholarship submission form that Ashley just put in the chat, scholarship application, okay? On that application, you'll fill out your name and your, just information. And we also need 2 things on that application. We need you to record a short selfie video speaking to the following: what doing the intensive means to you, why you want to do it, and why you should be the one to receive the opportunity. And so when I say like selfie, like literally just like use your phone, make a selfie, like it doesn't have to be anything fancy, and then either upload the file directly onto the form or upload it into like a shared drive, either upload it to YouTube or upload it to Google Drive or whatever, and share the link. If you are going to put it on a shared drive, make sure that you give access to everyone so that everyone who has the link can watch it. If we get a link that is a private video, we can't watch it, okay? So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Make sure you enable anyone who has the link to share it with everyone. So we need the selfie. And then we also need you to include at least 1 link to yourself performing. So a link to either a video of you performing, a YouTube, if you have YouTube videos of you performing, if you have online recordings, like you have released records on Spotify or whatever, we need at least 1 link to yourself performing or your online recordings, okay? So these are the things that you need to do, which is submit the form and have those links on the form. And you must submit it by midnight East Coast time, 9 p.m. West Coast time tonight, okay? And then be here live tomorrow because I'm going to announce the winner live in our session tomorrow. And again, you'll only be considered if you've been to every session this week. And we can see who's been here, like we know who's in the Zoom. So you'll only be considered if you've been here at every session and you've filled out the scholarship submission form that Ashley just put in the chat. So copy that link now so that you have it, because I'm not posting this anywhere else. This is not going out in an email. This is not going up on a Facebook post. Like, this is for those who are here, okay? So copy it and paste it somewhere so you have it. And again, this is a scholarship for our flagship 4-month intensive training program, the program that Carol was talking about. And this is the program that we train singers like holistically, just like we're doing here: technique, artistry, and mindset. And we do that with technique accelerator trainings so that you have full command of your technique, like no gaps in the technique, so that you have the most consistent, reliable, and healthy technique that shows up for you when you need it. We do it through mind-body integration modules where we deep dive like into your unique pattern of thinking and shift how this is affecting your body and your impact when you sing, like the work that we were doing yesterday and the day before. We do it through individual weekly coaching in the context of the group. So I have my eyes and ears on you. Twice a week, you get small technique pods with Annie, who you met on Wednesday. We want to make sure that you're embodying the new skill set and the new mindset and the artistry in the most effective way. We also do it through weekly group mindset call, which is topic focused coaching. You will meet Judy tomorrow, who's our amazing expert mindset coach. And so this is where we help you to shift the beliefs, the stories, get awareness around the thoughts so that you have a supportive mindset, the kind of mindset that is necessary for vocal growth. You also have one-on-one accountability monitoring and mentoring to help you break the boundaries that have previously stopped you so that you can actualize the results that you really want. We do it within this community, within this safe space for singers, so you get to go beyond your comfort zone in a really compassionate, really safe, really supportive community. And we do this through our artistic incubator, where you are amongst, like Carol was saying, like-minded artists, where you get to learn from each other, take action, and grow to achieve your creative goals together. So this program is for you if you are somebody who, despite your best efforts, you're still not where you want to be in your singing, despite your training, despite the hustle, despite the auditions and everything. You're just not getting the results you want, despite your best efforts. If you are dying to sing in a way that is just more reliable, more consistent, more powerful, where your body's working for you, not against you, right? That's what you've always just playing with. His body was working against him. It was just working way too much. Right? So if you have invested in vocal training in the past and it has not gotten you the results or the opportunities that you really want, because it's not helping you reach that potential and know how to do that when you need it. If you really have this vision of getting better results from the things that you're doing, auditions, recordings, performances, right? No more putting in all this time and work and money and not seeing the kind of outcomes that you want in the opportunities you're getting with your singing in your singing career. If you want to sing without more tension, without strain, without vocal fatigue, in a way that doesn't just sound good, guys, but feels good and is sustainable long term, and you want to find that sound and tap into your unique expression, your unique emotional home, what you have that nobody else has, so you connect at a higher level. It's your special sauce. If you're looking to find that, what separates you from other artists. And more than anything, if you want to know that anytime you open your mouth, you can trust your technique, you can trust your body to make the biggest impact no matter what, then you guys, you got 2 days left on the discount to get into work with us. You have 2 days left on enrollment bonuses. Just as a reminder, the discount is $2,000 off the normal tuition. The tuition is only $1,897 a month for 4 months. Save a little more money if you want to do the pay in full. It's just $7K. Think about it this way. You guys will spend way more than 7K over the course of the next 10, 20 years on traditional training, on other things that don't work to try to make yourself feel like you're doing something. You'll spend way more than 7K on vacations, on for some of us, clothes, on, like eating out, things like that. And you'll still be in the exact same place you are with your voice. So really get clear on what's important to you, because there's always a way for the committed. Take advantage of the bonus too, because it's $2,000 less than it is when we're not in workshop, okay? Second bonus, an audition self-tape critique of one of your songs. Third bonus is a full audit of your artist website or your EPK to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward in ways that is, valuable instead of certain things that might be sabotaging you that you don't realize on your EPKs or on your self-tapes. And then the last bonus is 2 one-on-one lessons with me, in addition to all the individual coaching that you will get for the first now 2 singers who opt to pay in full. We only have 2 of these left. So if that's important to you, get on it. So guys, these bonuses, they go away Sunday at midnight. So you either need to take care of your enrollment by then or get on my calendar if you have questions. So as long as you've booked a call by Sunday night, it doesn't mean you have had to have the call by Sunday, but as long as you are on my calendar, booked it by Sunday midnight, and then you eventually enroll, you will get the bonuses by the end of the week, okay? So, and by the way, guys, like you can come work with us in the intensive after Sunday night anytime you want. But the tuition goes back to the normal rate. It goes back to the 9K at that point. So even if you're on the fence, you really want in, but you have some payment plan questions, or you want to make sure it's the right fit, or you have schedule questions about the summer or whatever, get on my calendar. Let's talk. And we'll talk about, what the concerns are, what your goals are. I want to answer your specific questions so you don't miss out on the bonuses and the tuition discount if we decide that it's a fit and you do want to enroll. So if you're eligible and interested in the scholarship, make sure you submit your form and everything with it by 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 midnight Eastern, 10 night. And everybody who's interested in the training program, be prepared to get your enrollment done before the discounts disappear on Sunday night. We have a lot of payment options. We have the monthly option, $18.97. We have the pay in full, 7K, and we have financing through PayPal, and that's all on our website. Ash, will you put, oh yeah, she did. So where it says learn more and enroll, that's where you can look at the different payment options, where you can see if you qualify for the PayPal financing. And if you have other questions and you want to get creative about financing and payment or whatever, get on my calendar and we'll talk about it and we'll see. Because you guys, I don't want money to be the thing, okay? It's like you guys have wasted more time and more money over the years doing stupid you-know-what than when it counts. So we'll work it out. We figure it out. Okay, now a word about tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be big. We're gonna go deep tomorrow. We're gonna deep dive with some critical work. The biggest hurdle that pro singers face and how to get over it. And it's not what you think. So don't miss tomorrow. Okay, you guys? See you then. Have an amazing Friday night. Get on my calendar if you want to talk and see about the program. Do your scholarship submission and take care of your enrollment if you know that this is the place for you. Okay, guys, sending love. Mwah. Have a beautiful night, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.